entering a pivotal and a crucial part of the season. Now, I am mindful that at the end of last season, probably the last 8-9 games, whatever it might have been, when I was doing these videos, I was saying, this is the important game. This one next will define our season. I understand that. And I think I was right there. And I will do the same this season, hopefully. But before you get to that point where you're in the shake-up, when you're in the mix for getting into European football at the end of the season, I think you've got to do something quite exceptional. You've got to do something special, and you've got to put yourself in that position. And I believe that time is right now. We've played 21 games, which makes the next 2 fixtures really important. I'll go on to explain why. And I've actually gone and had a look at the Premier League table from last season after 23 games, which is quite telling. It's quite revealing and quite important, bearing in mind where we want to be, where we are, and what David Moyes said at the start of the season about us qualifying for the Champions League. Because I like his ambition, but I felt he got it a little bit wrong. Just in case you're wondering why I keep looking up there, I might be a little bit distracted, by the way. Right behind where you are on the telly is Newcastle against Watford. It's 1-0 Newcastle. You'll know the result by the time I put this video up. It's 81 minutes. And Gakia made a terrible mistake. He really did. He made a terrible mistake. And Sam Maximin cut in, scored a lovely goal. You've probably seen it by now. But anyway, so I've got to be honest with you. I'm looking for a Watford equaliser here. I've got a little bet on. Not much. What was it, 15p? 15p on an accumulator. Or win me £1 million. You know my sort of bets by now. Anyway, in terms of what David Moyes said at the start of the season, right? I'll pop up some graphics in just a second of where we were after 23 games last season. But David Moyes, if you remember, it was all about us missing out last season and missing out on Champions League football. And David Moyes said, and I've discussed this a couple of times now, that it was really important that we found those 2 points from somewhere. We've got to find the 2 points, he said, so as we get in the Champions League. Now, I actually always thought this season it was going to be difficult to get ourselves into Champions League. I thought there were lots of mitigating circumstances last season. When I pop up the Premier League at some point, you'll see there's players have improved. Some teams have improved. Some teams have got worse, like Leicester and Manchester United. But some teams have got better. And don't forget, there was a complete transformation in Chelsea once Tuchel arrived, if you remember, which sort of just saw them over the line. But this was a really interesting period for us at West Ham right now. And it's why Leeds and Man United, the next 2 games, are so pivotal and are so crucial. I mean, I can't stress it highly enough, because I do believe both are winnable. And I think what we're dealing with now is really going to define our season. Now, because I think 6 points are possible here. I think 4 would do it, but 6 are absolutely possible. Let me deal with where we are, or where we were, should I say, in the league last season. Right now, what I'm looking at. Okay, so, after 23 games last season, and I'll pop this up now. Well, you can see we were 6th. But we had 39 points. 39 points. We were in a sort of mixed run, if you like, but I think, aside from Man City, most of them were. And that's significant. That's significant because we were going to go on to, have a strong finish to the end of the season. I think it's fair to say. However, if you look at the Premier League where we are now, after 21 games, we got 37 points. 37 points. So, actually, do I think we're on course to do what we did last season? Yes, I absolutely do. But it's not going to be enough. That is not going to be enough because I've had a little look at it. And we've had a couple of anomaly seasons. If you take those anomaly seasons out of it, by the anomaly seasons, I mean the COVID-impacted seasons, Liverpool were absolutely terrible when there was no crowd. Liverpool are not that bad again this time. We're not going to be battling it out with Liverpool. To a certain extent, I think we're going for one spot in terms of Champions League place. I think it's 4th spot that's up for grabs. The rest are not. I know we're quite close behind Chelsea, but I still think it's 1 spot that's up for grabs. That wasn't the case last season. There was a point last season where there were 2 and sometimes 3 Champions League spots up for grabs. But 65 points was basically in those anomaly seasons. If you get 65 points, 67 points, it was going to be enough to get your Champions League. That's not going to be enough this time. We're going to need to get 70 points. Basically, if West Ham want Champions League football, we need 70 points. And the next 2 games are going to play a big part in that. Leeds is a trip up waiting to happen. Leeds is like a booby trap team. We mustn't go in too confident, I feel, with this one. I don't think we will. We've had a really good record against them. We've got a really good record against Bielsa's team since they got promoted. But we've got to see that out, and we've got to see that out tomorrow. And we've got to do well, depending on what day you're watching this. You might watch this in the morning. The Manchester United game is massive. It really is massive, because if we're going to do anything, we have to beat Manchester United. It's so lopsided at the moment because of the games and because of COVID, and we might be at the point where possibly we might have played 23 games in 2 games' time, and there might have been teams that have played 4 games less than us. That's quite feasible, and it's quite possible. However, you've got to put pressure on these teams by doing that, because I'd always take points in the bag rather than games in hand. Because what it means is, if there is a team, let's say Tottenham we've already got the points, and let's say it's Tottenham, and use that for example, or even Manchester United, we beat Manchester United, they'll be in excess of 10 points behind us probably by then. Now, yes, they will have some games in hand, but they've only got to get a draw in one of those or something like that, and then the climb looks insurmountable. I'm pretty sure David Moyes would have looked at this. I'm quite sure, looking back at what David Moyes said about just getting an extra 2 points, I'm sure he would have had a look at it. I'm sure he would have crunched numbers. I'm sure he would know that 67 points probably won't get you Champions League football this season, that you're going to need another win on top of that. And these are, these are numbers which, as West Ham fans, we're just not used to seeing. Is that is it? Is it a goal? It's a goal! It's a goal! Sorry, it's a goal! It's a goal! A header! Whoever it was, João Pedro, some geezer, I don't know. It was a header from not a corner, it was a cross. Oh, wow, I thought it was going to be a penalty. I'm glad I saw that. Wow, look at that. Sorry, terrible video. I can't even believe it. This is Watford Newcastle. I don't normally watch that much football, apart from West Ham, to be honest with you. Hey, oh dear, they're going to be smarting after that. Look at that. It does. Please haven't ruled it out. The bet's on. This time tomorrow, Rodders will be millionaires and all the rest of it. Probably not. All the other results won't go well. I've got Aston Villa to beat Man U, by the way, which obviously is going to be really important ahead of next week. Look, Man U are in a terrible situation. They really are. We've got to get something up there. As I've mentioned in another video, I don't expect Ronaldo to be there at the end of the season. I really don't. And I do. I'm not saying it will solve all their problems. I don't think their problems are more than Ronaldo. I think Pogba's a problem. I think a few of them are a problem there. We'll deal with Man United in detail, and myself and Gio do the Man United preview. But they're there for the taking, and they have to be done now. They really do. And what I was saying just before Watford rudely interrupted by scoring that most welcome goal was, when you crunch the numbers, look at our goal difference. Our goal difference, I think this, after 23 games last season, was +6. We're already at +12, so the goal difference is better. We have a look, not only are we 2 places higher, we look more of an established top 4 team than we did last season because of the goal difference. We just look like we should be up there. I'm not going to go into massive reasons why we need to strengthen, but I'm sure they've looked at that at the club and think, okay, let's bring some players in. Let's make sure we're better than last season. And unbelievably, I think we are. And I didn't think that would be possible, because I knew the rest of the Premier League had raised their game. But I wasn't sure that we could, because last season was so exceptional. But actually, the rest of the Premier League have raised their game, and we've raised ours. And I'm amazed, but I still think we've got another gear. I really do. I think we've got another gear to go here. It would be very typically West Ham to I don't know, to get through these next 2 games and actually to lose to Leeds and beat Man United. That'd be very West Ham. If we can get 4 points here, we're still in it, and we're massively better off than we were last season. But looking at us right now, looking at the Premier League as it stands right now, 37 points. Another 2 wins against Man United, Leeds puts on 43 points. I mean, that gives you it's not quite a cruise. You don't get to cruise towards 70 points, because you've got to earn the points in all the games. But there's a little run of fixtures coming up after the Kidderminster game where you think, actually, there are some winnable games coming up there. And you just put yourself in position to really go for these things. We are going to find it more difficult than last season, because last season we didn't have the distraction of European football, and that's why it's really important that we bring more players in. But crucial times. Anyway, don't forget to join myself and Gio an hour and 5 minutes before kick-off. As I understand it, let's have a little look while you're there. We'll have a little look there. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock kick-off. So join us at 12:55, myself and Gio, for the build-up show. We'll do the line-up reveal and all the rest of it. And fingers crossed, stage 1 of a 2-stage, very, very important week of football.